Okay, here we go. I think I got the gallery view and everything up. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I am so sorry. And now I can't see time on his computer. Okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna happen. Always, it just resistance shows up when good things are supposed to happen, and there's always a solution. There's always a way to fix it. It just sometimes tries our patience and takes a little bit more time, and that's okay because we can always learn something in the process. I don't know what it seems that maybe my microphone isn't working on my computer is kind of what it's seeming like, but we'll call it and I'll have to test it out. But welcome, welcome. June is here. It is June the 2nd. Yesterday was June 1st. I don't know about you guys, but I love when the first of the month is on a Sunday because I just love starting the month off with rest. Okay, this is total bunny trail, but I love to think about resting up for the week ahead rather than resting from the crazy week. And I think there's even something biblical about this too. And I think it's like, what is it? Hebrews 5 or something talks a lot about rest, or maybe it's Hebrews 3, but resting up for the work ahead. And rather than feeling like you're crash landing on the weekend. So we got to do that at the start of June here. We get to like start the month rested. I slept in this morning. It was amazing. And I hope the rest of you guys are taking care of your bodies. Sleep, you guys, is so important. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. It's amazing what happens when you start like negotiating on that time and time again. Your body will pay for it. And we're here in a community of people who are all about health and wellness. Um, in of course our body, but there's also so much that goes into like our body, soul, and spirit. And the more we can utilize multiple tools to fuel our body, like the blessing it will be. And so sleep, prioritize your sleep. Your supplements will work better for you as well. So this is something that I have a hard time with many times too, but I keep working on it. And sometimes it's just I'm a night owl by nature. And so, just moving myself to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock rather than midnight. Okay. We have definitely some exciting things going on in the month of June here in Plexus. And it's also just an exciting month because we're kind of kicking off summer. Summer can be busy. And so one of the things I just want to like remind you and just ground you on is summer can be busy and your supplement routine does not need to be difficult. It does not need to wait until maybe you're just getting started with your supplements. Um, Getting into a routine does not need to wait until the busy stops. Go ahead and get into a routine before the busy gets all crazy and keep your routine simple. For those of you that are just starting, I love the idea of habit stacking. So if you have a hard time like being consistent with something, keep your supplement routine really simple, like a morning and a nighttime routine at the most. If that's even too much, then talk with your sponsor and let's find a time, see if the products that you have can actually work together to be done all at one time. You guys, done is better than perfect. It is one of my favorite sayings right now. And because sometimes we can just get caught up in perfection and then we do nothing. And I love the quote by um, the Gretzky hockey player guy. Um, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So go ahead and take the shots. Like, don't feel like I need to wait till tomorrow or the next day or the weekend because it'll be more perfect then. No, like you're gonna for sure miss every single day this week if you just wait to start till Saturday. Um, go ahead and get started and done is better than perfect. So those of you that are just getting started, yay, welcome. We're going to go over just some of our very common products that people tend to start with. And I'm gonna give you some tips for how to use those. But just know that your product regimen might be slightly different than this, and that's okay. I mean, we have about 30 different products here at Plexus, and um, I'm sure you're not starting on 30 different things. And so you'll probably be able to find one or two tips out of here. If they don't all fit, that's okay. Not a problem. Pick up what you can. Um, a lot of people will start with something, will start with our Plexus Slim Drink and then kind of build your combo around that, depending on your health goals. A lot of people do love starting with our Plexus Triplex, which is our pink drink, our ProBio, and our BioCleanse. And the reason these have been so foundational is, well, they've been around the longest. Slim was our first product. Actually, second product. The first product was the breast health check kit or breast check health kit or whatever you call it, because Plexus started as a breast health company. Um, More on that later. But Plexus Slim has been around for a long time. And so, and we have found that it really is our flagship product. And I have seen people try to use the supplement without the Slim. And when they add the Slim in, they really get better results because they really are designed to work together. And I love how Slim focuses on all three pillars that are so important for your body. And that is the blood sugar hormone balancing aspect, the inflammation reducing aspect, as well as the gut health aspect. It focuses on all three of those. And then kind of like the other products that you add on, just enhance different of those areas. And mix your pink drink up. Maybe you have the tea flavor, maybe whichever one you have. Mix it and drink it within 40 minutes. This is so important. I see a lot of people missing this so many times. And I know it's an easy fix. But it is less effective if it sits for a while. If you're using Slim Hunger Control, on the other hand, you still want to mix it and drink it within about that 45 minutes. But it is actually, if you're using the Slim Hunger Control and you really want it to help with satiating your cravings and maybe portion control for meals and things like that, drinking it over a period of about 30 minutes before your largest meal is the most ideal way to drink that. And the reason for that is because of the extra fiber that is in there, and it'll help to kind of like bulk up in your system, and it just helps you feel more satiated, and it'll actually help with those cravings and portion control and things like that. So just a few tips on Slim. Some hunger control is a little bit harder to mix. I find it mixes better in um, more like lukewarm water. Wait to add the ice until after. The Slim microbiome, the short packs of Slim, those mix up very easy and pretty much any temperature of water is so good to mix, whichever one you're doing. Mix it up, add some ice. Um, Use a little blender or just shake it. I'll even just put it in a little pint jar with a lid on and just shake it up real good. So just a few tips there. If you're using BioCleanse and ProBio, if you are in Canada, hear me out. Hear me loud and clear. If you are in Canada and you're using BioCleanse and you read your bottle, let me back up. Your sponsor is giving you instructions for how to start the products. Listen to her. Listen to her because she has some really good tips for you. If you're in Canada and you're reading the bottle on BioCleanse and you just kind of forgot about that little instruction sheet or that text that your sponsor gave you, just don't follow the instructions on the bottle for BioCleanse to get started because it's going to tell you to start with 6 a day. And friend, you don't want to start with 6 a day. It says like I don't understand why, but just start with like 2 a day. Okay. A lot of people will start with like 2 probios and 2 BioCleanse in the evening right before bed. You might tweak that as you go. Um, I find for a lot of people, you're going to start with 1 or 2 probio, but it's so important that you get to the maintenance dose of 2. You guys, 2 is the maintenance dose. If you are, and I love how these two are working to clean out the overgrowth of bacteria in your gut. And if you are really working on like getting rid of candida overgrowth, maybe you're needing to like if you're like dealing with cravings, I tell you what really made a difference for me and my sugar cravings was when I started increasing my probio. But you need to do this slowly. So make sure you start out with one or two and get up to two within, your first week or two for sure. So stay connected with your sponsor on that. But just yeah, some basics for getting started. Some of you might be starting with MetaBurn. I know I had a lot of people start with Slim and MetaBurn this month. And I love that MetaBurn it has a lot of adaptogenic herbs in it. It is so good it's good for energy, it's good for mood, and also for stress. Like the adaptogenic herbs are really good for adrenal support. So if you're stressed a lot, your adrenals get really, really drained. So those are, again, it's also good for hormones. Also cravings. I find that when I'm taking MetaBurn, I do tend to like have less of the munchy cravings. So those are some things you might notice with MetaBurn. If you're starting MetaBurn, make sure that do follow the instructions in the bottle and take it with food or water. It's so important. I love that MetaBurn has so many different herbs in it, and one of the herbs is grains of paradise. And the grains of paradise is a peppery herb. So MetaBurn is also all about like boosting your metabolism and um, helping to burn fat as well. But the grains of paradise that is in here is a peppery herb. If you do not take this with food and water, then you will feel like you'll feel the pepper in your throat. A lot of people mistaken this for heartburn. It is not heartburn. It is the pepper from the grains of paradise. So drinking it with like a full glass of water or your pink drink, if you're drinking your pink drink right away, or taking it with food. So just a couple tips there on getting started. You might be using X Factor Plus, our multivitamin. Again, that one is so good. It's best to be taken with food. Or personally, I find I can take it right before bed. And there was a period of time where I wasn't sleeping very well at night. I was kind of dealing with some insomnia and anxiety and the good old menopause hormones of hot flashes and things like that and night sweats. And when I started taking my Vital Biome and my X Factor Plus right before bedtime, my sleep greatly improved. So just know, here's some basics. Here's what I want you to know. However you decide to start your products, just be open to like changing the time of day if needed. Like if you start taking Slim and ProBio and BioCleanse, and you're taking these at night and you're like, I'm not sleeping very good, like my sleep has gotten worse. Okay, switch it to the morning. There was a time that I could not take ProBio at night either. I had weird dreams and I just didn't sleep very well. After about 6 months, I could go back. That's all part of the healing. Your body is taking in the things that you need, and you are going to feel some adjustments and some changes. Some of them are really exciting, and some of them don't feel so exciting. But guess what? When you're dealing with like some detox, some maybe even a headache, maybe some fatigue, maybe your digestion just feels a little off. And your mind might want to go, oh my word, this isn't working for me. No, it's not that it's not working for you. It's actually working. And it's working to get the junk out of your body. And in the process of that coming out, your body's just going to kind of feel that toll. So if you experience detox, it's a really exciting thing. I always tell people, set your mind on your first 2 to 3 months. You may notice some changes in your first month, and especially depending what products you're using. But really focus on that 2 to 3 months. In your first month, just focus on getting really, really consistent. Watch for things like, you might have a little bit more energy. Maybe you sleep a little bit better at night, or um, maybe you just, feel a little less like your mind is maybe a little clearer. You can watch for those things in your first month. You may notice them, but really focus on that first 60 to 90 days. And that's where your body can really make a lot of progress. And let me check the chat here. Just a message. And Lil said, I had so many dreams after starting Probio 5 at night, clearing out that mental junk. Like, seriously, isn't it so crazy? She says, but I stuck it out and now it's done and I wake up feeling so refreshed. Yes. Yes. I love that. Yeah, that was me. Um, okay. Thanks, Lil, for sharing that because I dealt with that too. So your first month, watch for some changes, but really focus on getting consistent with it. Um, any questions or comments about the getting started or anything like that right now? Okay, we're gonna keep on. Um, and as your body is adjusting to like taking something new, again, sleep is so important because sleep is also what helps your body to heal. So drink your water, at least 100 ounces, at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you weigh 100 pounds, make sure you drink at least 50 ounces of water. If you weigh 200 pounds, really work to get in that 100 ounces a day. I know this can be hard. Maybe right now, you're like, I do good if I get in a quart of water. Okay, what can you do to get that up to 2 quarts this week? Just a little bit better. And then next week, maybe you'll get up to like 3 quarts of water. What I find for me with water is if I measure it out ahead of time, that really helps me to focus on getting that in during the day. So anyways, anybody, let's see, what time is it? I am curious if any of you guys that are on here want to unmute and tell us a little bit something that you've noticed in your health with Plexus. What's one win, one or two things that you have noticed that's been helpful? Maybe one or two things why you're like, you know what, I keep consistent because I know this is what it's doing for me, or this is what I notice. Um, yeah, go ahead, Lil.
It's going to be quick because company's coming
I
suddenly, and
cannot hear you. Can you guys hear her? Oh,
can you hear me
let me.
now?
Yes, my volume was just not up.
Okay. Well, company's coming, I suddenly discovered, and I have dishes to wash, but I'll take a minute here.
Thank you. Awesome.
But one thing that I'm loving, first of all, is this is my second summer of being able to handle the heat and getting a tan finally and being able to sweat. Like it's the simplest thing, but I used to not be able to sweat except like a nervous sweat under my arms. Never a full body sweat where you can just feel the sweat pouring out. And so I just love it. We have no AC here. We don't really need it either because it doesn't get that hot here. But this I'm just thrilled that I get to enjoy the heat, like not just bear it, but I actually like love going out in that hot summer sun and just like, ooh, when my arms are getting brown already. And it's just, yeah, it might feel small, but it's just like
And
after not being able to,
this is how many years for you?
5 or 6.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
So did you used to get burned really bad before rather than tan?
not, no, nothing. I
Nothing.
got nothing. No,
Oh, it's like your body
no.
didn't absorb it.
My skin didn't do anything with that sunshine. It was just like pale. I know it looks really pale with this lighting here now, but it's
Yeah.
starting already. Um,
So, yeah.
so that has been a really fun perk. And it's just a reminder that our skin is actually an organ and it's a reflection of like the health of our insides. So, and the other thing I wanted to just touch on is you mentioned about restore. And and oh my, the problem with having so many health wins over the years of healing is that like there's too many things to talk about. But I used to not be able to handle probio 5 because of the digestive enzymes in it. I've never been able to handle digestive enzymes. It gave me the worst kind of belly aches. And if you've ever met somebody who has that too, you know what I'm talking about. But um, I always took it. Some people would say that's a reaction. And to me, I was like, I knew that wasn't a reaction, but it was just that my body needed it so badly, but it couldn't handle that level of detoxing. So when Restore came along and I started with that, I had to start super small because I got those same kind of belly aches, but I could tell it was much lesser. And with I could control the amount. So I started really small, like maybe a quarter scoop or less. And I worked up to that till I stayed consistent on that till I could handle it without any belly aches. Okay. Then I went on to like a third scoop and that brought more belly aches. I stayed consistent until I worked through that layer. And the same, it took me probably a few months to work up to a full scoop. Yeah, it was a few months. But all this time, I knew that it was not my body reacting. Some people say when they can't handle something, oh, I reacted to it. I'm like, no, that was actually a sign your body was really trying to get a lot of junk out, but you need to go a lot slower so your body can actually handle it. So to me, this whole process was exciting. And I had a goal of getting on the Probio 5, and that's why I stuck with it. I kept working through those layers of discomfort, slowly increasing. Every time I reached that point where I felt good on the amount I was taking, I increased it. So that's the reason I worked up to 3 scoops a day.
Wow.
At the time I started taking Probio 5, it had been, no, by the time I got up to 3 or 4 Probio 5, I think that full span was 7 months um, from that first little bitty of Restore till I worked up to that. Because even when I started on Probio 5, I think I could only handle about half of a pill at a time. So I started there, and then I went to 1 pill, and the same process because I've had fatty liver for years, and I was also born with a 2 vessel cord, and I really feel like with both of those things together, detoxing has been a harder thing for my body, and that's why I knew these products were so needed. My body needed them so desperately, but I had to go about it in a different way, and not just like a lot of people can start right in with 1 scoop, but I couldn't. I had to just take baby steps for me. But now I can take 3 Probio 5, 4 Probio 5. I think I even was taking 5 Probio 5. And you better believe them dreams were like a reflection of some of my past struggles that I have had. They were awful dreams.
Wow.
And I was not feeling crummy, but I pushed through that. And now I wake up feeling so refreshed and so good in the morning.
That's amazing.
Like it.
So I haven't actually talked about Restore on here yet. I'm gonna bring it up in just a little bit. It's actually new in Canada this past month. Lil, what do you have to say for somebody who maybe they don't really know much about Restore yet, or um, maybe somebody doesn't have all the issues that you have. You've had so many autoimmune issues. Just give us a couple of reasons what Restore is so good for those of us who have been like, using Triplex and X Factor Plus and some of those things for such a long time. I'm still trying to I was really consistent with Restore and I kind of got off and I'm trying to get back to that.
So Restore is all about supporting your liver health, cleaning that out. Your liver is like your filter for a lot of processes in your body. And we all know what happens when you have a vacuum sweeper with a plugged filter. Like the function is just way less, it's also incredible for cellular detoxing. And your health is never better than the health you have at the cellular level. Your cells are what absorb nutrients. Your cells are what are responding to hormones. Your cells are what are communicating constantly. Like it's who we are at a cellular level. And so if you research this, toxins that are stored in your cells affect so many things. Like even your hormones are very impacted, your metabolism, your blood sugar regulation. An unhealthy cell, an inflamed cell becomes rigid and hard. meaning that it cannot absorb nutrients. And also, the surface of it cannot respond to all the messages coming to it. And also, your cells have this in and out, this fluid motion. It receives nutrients and it also has waste that it needs to get out and toxins. And this is where heavy metals are stored and like all kinds of toxic stuff gets stored in our cells. Um, and so, anytime someone struggles with their metabolism or their moods or their hormones, so many things. I'm like, this is just a key part of addressing health is getting those toxins out of your cells. And trust me, they're not going to budge unless we make them budge. Like they don't just leave because they decide to. Like we have to get serious with them and declare war on them to get them out of there.
So good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And there was a thought that you were saying with that that just left me. You were talking about, anyways, thank you for that on Restore. That's really encouraging. And oh, I know what I was going to say. Talking about like the toxins and the things that are, this is stuff that has been stored in there for years and years and years. Like, and I've been reading this book called The Menopausal Reset, and she kind of talks about this type of thing and like the heavy metals and things that have been stored in our cells for years. And so, thank you, Lil. That's fine. Your company is coming, got to run. I know we only have a few minutes left here yet, too. So, Restore has been in the States for about a year. It's part of the Reset box. It's been in the Reset as that last drink that you have of the day. And then about a year ago, they started selling it in individual packages so you can have it every single day. They have much improved on the flavor. If you did not like the first Restore, I could not handle it. And I love that we now have it in Canada. Here's one of the things, if you are in Canada, if you add Restore to your subscription this month, you're going to get an extra 200 perks as a thank you for trying Restore. And that 200 perks, if you don't know how perks work, whenever you want to order your products as much as possible through your subscription, like go in and edit your subscription, change out your products, whatever you need. If you need to change anything, change the date if you need to. But when your order of 100 PV or more processes through your subscription, you earn perks. And they're giving you an additional 200 perks if you add Restore. And those perks can be redeemed at any point, and they will come with your next subscription order. In Canada this month as well, you can redeem, and then here's how when you redeem perks, okay, you can redeem the perks. Let's say Kids X Factor, I think is maybe 260 perks or something like that. So you could spend 260 of your perks and get a Kids X Factor with your next order. This month we have a perks product feature. And what that means is you get one of those products at a discounted perk amount. So the Kids X Factor is only 220 perks. You can buy a Kids X Factor with 220 perks this month in your subscription order. What that actually means is if you were in Canada and you placed your first order in May and you ordered at least 100 PV, which most of you did, I mean, that's just how most people start, you can actually get a free kids in your subscription this month. So that's actually really cool. Because your very first order is you get 250 perks as like this gift from Plexus. So you could actually redeem that this month and get, maybe you got triplex last month and you actually had kids in your house. Well, go ahead and get that free Kids X Factor vitamin because you have enough perks for it. The perk product in the States is Vital Biome. So it's at a discounted rate of 300 perks. So let's say you have 400 perks in your account, you can go buy a Vital Biome for 300 perks. And then also between the June 1st and June 15th. So if you have, whether you're a Plexus ambassador or a VIP customer, everyone starts out as a VIP customer. If you are a VIP customer, you do have a referral link. And so June 1st through 15th. If anybody uses that referral link, they can actually get started for $1 membership rather than, so the annual membership in the US is $20 and in Canada it's $26. And June 1st through the 15th, anybody, any new VIP customer can start for $1 VIP membership. And also June 1st to the 15th, I love that this is back again. With your first 100 PV order, you get a free reset. There's codes to use for that. It's reset in the US and reset CA in Canada. So those of you that are just getting started, or maybe you've been around, and you're sharing with somebody, make sure they know that they can get that free reset with their triplex this month. And here's what I love about the reset. If it's a really great way to just kind of even start and trial Plexus because you get to try a lot of different products in the reset. And then you have that triplex or that slim and metaburn or slim and collagen that you're going to kind of continue on the rest of the month. But it's a really great way for somebody who's like not quite sure um, whether or not they really want it or they want to do it. You know, starting with reset is actually a really great way to start. I mean, it's great for those who have weight loss goals, but it's also just great for deeper cellular level detox, healing, that kind of thing. So our time is out. We're going to run. Thank you guys for being here. Stay connected with the person who got you started, and have an incredible June. So glad you're here. And we have a Facebook community. If you're not in there, ask your sponsor how to get in there, and you'll see more things going on in there this month. So have a good month. Oh, we have our convention is this month too. Anybody's welcome to come. It's in Dallas, Texas. If you're not going to be there, be watching my stories because we're going to be talking about that. All right. See y'all. Have a good June. Bye bye.